Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new here, my name is Becca, and I'm gonna do a drugstore holy grail like makeup look, and it's kind of just like a get ready with me, but only with drugstore products. I use a lot of prestige brands like Fenty, Estee Lauder, like a little bit more on the higher end, and just because they last a lot longer. But the thing is that you can also find some really great drugstore makeup without having to break the bank. So I figured I'd kind of go over everything that I would use on a day that I decide to use drugstore makeup. So let's start. So first I want to let you guys know that I do have oily skin, and it is obviously, you can see like there's a little bit of shine, but sometimes I don't mind having like more of like a dewy look to the skin. So today's products, I'm going to have a mix kind of matte and radiant, so more of like a natural finish, so more of like a natural, you know, summer look. But I also have a lot of scarring and stuff, so I definitely want to have that covered. So let's kind of get into it. Whenever I do like a moisturizer in the beginning, I really don't do like a really like crazy you know, moisturizer to prep my skin, so I actually just use Equate Beauty. A lot of my makeup products are kind of like messy because of the makeup and stuff, because I put it all in a drawer and I kind of just cram it in there. That's probably not the best way to do it. I definitely need to invest in some better storage and just kind of at least wipe it down and stuff after every use, but I don't do the extra mile to do that, so if I don't care, then it doesn't matter. But I just wanted to let you guys know in case you like see there's like, you know, foundation on that. But this is the Equate Beauty Ceramide Moisturizing Facial Lotion. This is actually for the nighttime, but this basically all it has is ceramides and a lot of hydrating ingredients to hydrate the skin. There is no oil or parabens or fragrance, so it definitely helps so that I can, you know, still moisturize the skin without having it be too crazy. I don't want it to do anything except for moisturizing. I've done my makeup without moisturizer and my face, I don't know what it is, but it just doesn't lay good and then doesn't feel good. Like my skin feels really dry, and since I'm very oily, like that doesn't really make sense. But when I add a moisturizer, it kind of helps to like soften my skin and then kind of hydrate that so that everything can lay on a lot smoother and not as dry, if that makes sense. And I usually don't do a all over primer. I actually just do a primer for my T-zone. I don't have one specifically for drugstore, so I'm going to skip that today. But normally I'd put stuff in my T-zone, and because I'm using a natural finish foundation, I really don't need a mattifying primer if my whole look is going towards a natural finish, like I said earlier in the video. So this one is the Infallible Fresh Wear Foundation, and this is a 24-hour foundation. It definitely does not last 24 hours, and since I'm oily, it will make you look a little oily, but it's because it's a natural finish, and natural finishes are more skin-like, and it won't really mattify your skin, and it won't make you like super dewy. But since it is natural and I'm really oily, it might look a little dewy on me, but this is just like a normal video, like I'm not going anywhere. I'm gonna go in and do this all over the face. I usually go in with a brow pencil like right after, but I'm actually gonna do the whole face first and then go in with my brows. With products like this, like since it can move around a little easier, I'm okay with doing my brows afterwards. The reason why I would do my brows before with like a mattifying foundation or more expensive foundations is because it dries down and sets right away, and when I go in with my concealer to clean it up, it starts to get all patchy and stuff. So if you follow along, that's like what I mean. But yeah, so I wanted to mention that. I don't have a lot of drugstore type of brushes. I do have a lot of Morphe, which can be bought at Ulta, which is they sell drugstore makeup too. So I'm going to go in with the Morphe G36, which is just a foundation brush like that. And then go over the face with this. Oh, this shade right here is 470. And I'm a warm tone, but I'm also like a kind of like a neutral warm, not fully warm, because I know that when I put foundation on, it's gonna be like super yellow on me, and I'm Asian, but I'm not that yellow, you know. Finding drugstore foundations are a lot harder to find a good fit for me. That's why I do a lot of like more higher end ones, because I feel like they have more of a shade range. I mean, just depends which one you get. And I've also stuck with my my foundations for a while, and I haven't really branched out. So if you guys know any good foundation brands, like drugstore wise, that are still great quality but like has a great shade range, let me know. I honestly hate like trying something new, because I do not return things. I will have a whole bunch of things in my closet, and like they're things that don't fit, or like different colors, stuff like that. So I'm really bad about that. So if I can get things and then love it right away, that'd be great. So any recommendations would be great for that. Usually with the products that I don't use, I usually give them away instead of returning them, which is, I mean, good, you know. It's my loss, someone else's gain, you know. But I also need to start returning things. But you can see, like, this lighting is crazy, but you can see that, like, my forehead is a lot different than my face, and, like, it's just yellow. So when I go in with my concealer, I kind of even that out. But at least with this, it just evens everything out, because I do have my neck and my chest are a lot different of a color than my face. So that's why I mentioned, like, I'm more of a neutral warm as compared to what's it called? Like a true warm tone. I've done a lot of warm tone products, and no matter what I do, it's always too yellow on me or too neutral. So usually with the foundations that I do use, I have a neutral and a warm tone, and I'll just mix those, and then it's like the perfect shade. That's the final look with that. Like, everything is covered nice. I want to say this is more of like a medium to full. Like, you definitely can build up if you need, but you can also shear it down. But it is a natural finish, so you guys can see like the glow that it kind of gives, but without being shiny. I initially was gonna go in with this one for concealer, but I'm like looking at it, and it's just like a lot darker for an under eye concealer, and I was gonna mix, but I'm like, you know, I might as well just use this one. So I'm kind of going against the whole natural look, but this is actually this is the 16-hour, so this is the e.l.f. 16-hour Camo Concealer, and then this one is the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. So hydrating and matte, I typically would do this maybe like all over the face with like specific areas like blemishes and dark spots and stuff, but because we're brightening and because I feel like my face is just really like right now, like I just want to kind of balance it out with a good like brightening tone. This is in shade medium sand. I have another one that's like medium something, and it's like too yellow. This is more of a yellow warm, but I know sometimes it can pull up a little warm, so ignore all the colors, but you get like the general gist of like the products that I'm using, so just ignore that. I used to go in with this all over, like a whole triangle. Do not do that anymore. It definitely is a lot of product when you do like a whole triangle, especially the Tarte Shape Tape, because that's what I used to do it with, and I found that this is a dupe for Tarte Shape Tape because it gives you a nice beautiful coverage. Maybe not as much coverage as Tarte, but it still provides you with like good coverage. The color is good, it's mattifying, and it's only $6 as compared to what like the concealer for Tarte is like $30. And I feel like I don't have to use much anyway, but I don't know. I definitely think this is a dupe for sure, and I use this even with my my like higher end foundations, and it blends beautifully. So this is a really, really good. I just realized that I don't have my concealer brush that I normally do with this, so I'm just gonna grab another brush. This is the Morphe M512, and it's just like a regular, I think this is for concealer or powder too, but I just have never used it for that, so I'm just gonna blend it out with it. It's a little more fluffier than I would like, but for the most part it does the same thing. So when I wear glasses, no matter what foundation I use, I always get I get those like little dots right here that like where the little things that sit on your eyes are, and always moves my foundation. So I actually put my concealer brush in my bag, and then when I was when I was driving and stuff, I had my glasses on, but I went to dinner and I didn't want those big like little things on the side. So I actually just grabbed a foundation brush and I kind of just like, or not a foundation, this concealer brush, like kind of looks like this one but a little smaller, and it blended everything out. Everything was good to go. I don't have to worry about, you know, like walking around all crazy. But this works just as fine. I've just never used it for concealer. I've only used it for powder, so glad to know that it works for that. Everything's a lot more pulled together. I have a little bit more of the highlights going on with like certain areas of my face, and it's not like super light, but it also just adds dimension back to the face, and that's why I really like doing that. I feel like I can never go without doing that. I've done that before and I just don't feel like I look the same, but I'm gonna go ahead and set the face, and that I might go in with my concealer later on for my eyebrows, but I feel like I can kind of gauge with that. So we're okay on everything moving around or not, so we should be fine. So I'm gonna go in with the Maybelline Fit Me Loose finishing powder. I use the top as a foundation mixer, so it looks a little busted, so that's why I'm not showing you. But I don't have a drugstore brush, but I did get this at the clearance rack at Ulta. So this is the It Cosmetic brushes, and this was like a collection they had with Ulta where it was like all these like the stones and stuff. So like there's a jade stone, there was like amethyst. I think those were the only two, but I think this was only like $7, and usually their brushes are super expensive, like $30, $40, $50. So I was like, a deal, you know. I use a shade Fair Light in this one, and then that's perfect because since it's so sheer, it definitely just blends everything in. And then when I go in with my bronzer, that's when it'll bring the like tone back together. But it's nice because then I can mattify my skin and then get everything set in place. Typically with drugstore stuff, or the ones that I've tried, they usually don't last long throughout the day in regards to like slipping and sliding, or you know, you just touch your face a little bit and it comes off. So that's the only downside of having a drugstore one. I definitely wouldn't, if you're gonna invest in something, invest in a foundation, because those ones are definitely gonna last a lot longer, especially with depending on like your skin type and stuff, and like what kind of look you're going for. I'm gonna go actually in with the bronzer and blush, and then I'll do my brows after. So I'm gonna go in with the Maybelline City Bronzer, and this is in shade, honestly I do not know, because the back is a foundation mixer as well. Let's just ignore that. But it's one of those tones, so get whatever matches you best. And then this is the Crown Brushes Chisel Brush. I actually got this when I was a student in makeup school. So I took some classes for makeup because I was like super into makeup in I think it was after high school, maybe college. I got super into makeup, and my mom signed me up for makeup classes, and they gave you like a brush kit, they gave you Actually, I think that's all they give you. They give you a set of brushes, and then you have to bring those brushes to school every time. And then like obviously you have to wash them and stuff and make sure they're ready to go for school. But I really liked that class because it definitely went over different styles of things, but I definitely feel like you could definitely learn on YouTube. Exhibit A, me. Like, you can watch my videos and just like learn, because that's how I got my start, was watching YouTube videos and then just practicing. Like, a lot of it is just practicing, and that's with anything. Like, the more you try and practice, the better you'll get. And that's how I feel. Like, when I first started with makeup, I thought I was so good. I was not. And then now I look at my stuff and I'm like, oh, like, I'm actually pretty good now. But I'm always improving, you know. So I just applied this to the areas that I would apply like contour and stuff, but I don't contour, I just bronze. And it's nice because it brings like the kind of like a shadow, but then also like more chiseled areas to the skin and like sculpting and stuff. But you definitely can go in with like a cooler toned product, but I like warmer tones. And then next I'm actually gonna go in with this Morphe palette with the blushes and highlights. So I am going to pick one of these. So I'm using Goals and Provocative, which are these two outer shades, this coral and then this pink. I don't know, I like to mix stuff because I honestly don't know. I like the tones of cooler tone blushes on me compared to warmer tones, because I feel like warmer tones just make me look orange. So I just want to mix kind of both of these to kind of get a good even tone. I feel like too, this lighting is making me look really orange. I look like a clown. And I don't have a drugstore highlighter, but I do have this Milani Pure Passions. I'm not going to do eyeshadow today because I actually am going to film another video after this, and it's going to go in more with eyeshadow. So I figured I would ignore that. But I'm going to dip into this first shade right here and then kind of tap in and do a highlight on certain areas. So since I'm oily, I typically don't like applying it on the sides right here. And especially like you can already see like there's a glow to my like the blush and the foundation and stuff. So I'm just gonna put these on these certain areas. So I actually only do it towards the center of the face. So I'll do inner corners, nose, and lip, and then I'll do a little bit in the middle right here. And then that's it. And then I'm going to go in with my brows. This is the Morphe Micro Brow Pencil in shade Java. Typically, like, you wouldn't want to put, like, makeup over your brows, like foundation and stuff, but I usually do. And I don't have a clear brow gel or a tinted brow gel that is drugstore. So I'm actually going to go in with my Gimme Brow with Benefit just to get some of this foundation off. So what I mean is, like, if you go in with a tinted brow gel or if you go with like a clear one, it kind of takes away all of that foundation and powder that just got on there. And then kind of, if you do the tinted one, it provides a tint, but the other one helps to kind of clear that other stuff off. And plus, I don't have brows. Like, these are micro shaded on and they're not really good right now. Like, they're fading a lot. So I am actually just gonna do that and then fill in the blanks. Yeah, I will be right back. So I just did a quick little thing on my brows, and honestly, like, I don't think I'm gonna fix it up because, like, I just filled in my brows. And the nice thing about doing the tinted brow gel is when you go in with like an actual brow product, like, you can just fill in the spaces. So that's what I did, and I really don't need to clean it up. I feel like I, you know, did what I needed to do. And then I usually use like a dip brow. I use a dip brow pomade when I do my eyebrows, and so they're not as harsh, but there's still like a lot going on. So I filled in the front because I usually fade my eyebrows, and then I used this to kind of help blend it out without having to use like another brush. But I feel like they look pretty natural right now. So I'm going to go in with just some regular mascara. I usually use a Lash Princess mascara, which is a waterproof one, but I just want to do like a regular one. So this is the Colossal by Maybelline. This was actually at TJ Maxx, so you can get a lot of good makeup from TJ Maxx. I know a lot of it might be like getting expired or just like discontinued stuff, but they actually have some pretty good things. And my lashes are pretty short anyway, so they're not going to get like super big. But I just wanted to coat them for the video and then kind of just show you how everything looks together. So I just went in with some lip balm just to kind of get those lips moisturized. Usually you want to start with lip balm at the beginning of it so that your lips can absorb it, but I forgot. So I'm going to go in with the ColourPop Ultra Matte Lip in Beeper, which is actually one of my favorite colors, which is like just like a brown tone, pinky mauve brown color. I don't know. And that's the final look with everything together. So I found like a really great like drugstore makeup like routine. So I hope you guys really enjoyed that. I'm just going to show you guys what it looked like up close. So everything looks good and fresh, and like it's a pretty natural like makeup look in a way. I know I put a lot of steps on, but like this is natural to me because it's like a natural makeup look. Natural. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys have any other video ideas, I want to start posting more. One of my videos, like it's so crazy, is at like 70,000 views. Like that's crazy. And it's a lash video, and I don't do lashes anymore, so it kind of sucks that it's like about that when I'm not gonna make content like that anymore. But I've learned a lot from doing lash extensions, so hopefully I can provide more videos on like informative stuff like that instead of like, oh, like what's in my lash kit, or like, ooh, what's this, that stuff that like I don't have this stuff. But I lashed for like a year and a half, and I learned a lot from that, so hopefully I'll probably post more content regarding that as well. But I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you have any other questions or any suggestions on some other great foundations, I'd love to hear it. So I hope you guys have a great day, and thanks for watching. Bye.